I'm astrologer and life coach Penny Dix. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome back if you are one of my regular visitors here. And if you are new here, a big welcome to you. I'd love it if you'd subscribe. So today I'm bringing you one of my short heads up videos, but this one is specifically for the sign of Aries. And that's whether you are sun in Aries or rising sign in Aries. And this is for the month of April 2023. Okay, so this is like the kind of astrological new year, because when the sun moves into Aries, it really brings with it that wonderful feeling of new beginnings. And the astrology really supports that. There's a sense of clearing. With Pluto newly arrived in Aquarius, it's very much like Pluto's come into Aquarius and looked at the party that everyone's been having the night before, or shall we say the month before, and is thinking, where do I start to clear up this mess? So how does this fit into your particular life? Because there's a lot of energy this month in the sign of Aries. We've got the Sun, we've got Chiron, Jupiter, Eris, Mercury, all bunched up in your first house. This is about your identity. This is about you taking yourself seriously. This is about you really looking very honestly at how you want the next 12 months to unfold for you. So kind of think of this as a kind of astrological new year for you. Now, the sun in Aries on the 5th of April is actually conjunct Chiron in Aries. Now, that's very much about a great opportunity for you to do some inner healing, some healing of your attitudes, some healing of how you approach yourself. Because, and I often say that we're not always our best friends to ourselves. And this is just a kind of a reminder that you need to put your own house in order and make you okay before you can start helping others. The other area of your chart that is under the spotlight this month is Taurus, which of course is your house of finance. So that can't be bad. Or can it? Well, there may be a few hitches, because at the end of April, on the 21st, Mercury is going to have a retrograde in the sign of Taurus. Mercury actually moves into Taurus right at the beginning of the month on the 3rd. So it's going to highlight your financial setup and help you find ways to generate new income. But when it goes retrograde on the 21st in the sign of Taurus, it's just going to kind of, I think, give you the opportunity to go back and look at where you could perhaps change things, adjust things, look at different income sources. It may also be that it's brought to your attention that there are unpaid bills. That's something you might have overlooked. But Mercury retrogrades in general, actually, I always see them as opportunities to go back and get things right where perhaps they haven't. So it may be that when you're looking at your kind of budgeting for the next few months, that you've overlooked something. And this Mercury retrograde is going to give you the opportunity to go back and address that. It actually goes direct again on the 15th of May. But of course, it will be staying in your house of finance until it moves out of its shadow area, which will be later on. Excuse me. So let's also look at the full moon, because the full moon's in your opposite sign this month of Libra. And the full moon is, this is the part of your chart that is to do with close, significant relationships. And there's something about this full moon which really promotes emotional healing. There's a lot of that energy around this month. And, healing is often more achievable when we let go of the outcome of things, because so often we have a mindset, excuse me, we have a mindset of how we think things should unfold with regard to our kind of emotional life. And of course, it doesn't just doesn't always work that way. So the other energy we need to look at is that Venus, that has been in Taurus, also moves into Gemini, which is the part of your chart to do with communication. Now, whilst Venus has been in Taurus, which is up until the 11th of April, what Venus will be doing is kind of counterbalancing the potential problems Mercury is highlighting with regard to your finances. So that's a good thing. And this is because Venus, that rules Taurus, which rules the house it's in, is all about, apart from love and relationships, finance and that kind of financial abundance. So that can only be beneficial. Then it will move into your third house of communication. And by the time it gets here, it's actually going to be making quite a hard square to Saturn in Pisces, newly arrived in Pisces, which is your 12th house of the inner you. It really feels, Aries, as if there are some inner issues that you've not yet addressed, that you really need to look deeply within to get some structure into your emotions that can sometimes be all over the place. So bear that in mind, Aries, because, it's the inner work that ultimately gets us to where we want to get to. Now, also this month, of course, we have a new moon solar eclipse, and it's in your sign. And it's the second new moon in your sign in the space of just over a month. So this is quite significant because it's also giving you a kind of double opportunity for new beginnings. So you can see, Aries, this really is a game-changing month for you. It can really help you shift the kind of clutter and energy, and I'm thinking about mind clutter, not just literal physical clutter. This is something about you really shedding your skin and starting anew, because it's a solar eclipse. This is where the sun is overshadowed. So if the sun is overshadowed, the sun is us. It's our life force. It's our whole being. So what this tells me is that you really do have an opportunity with this to look at how you represent or represent yourself to the world in general with a kind of new way, a new attitude. Buy a new outfit, do something, have your hair changed. Just do something that really makes you feel better. And then that is going to help with how things unfold for the next few months, because both April and May are going to be interesting months, let's put it that way. And we can't forget that Mars, of course, is in Cancer now, in your fourth house. And at the end of the month, it will be making a square to Chiron, the wounded healer, in your first house of Aries. Now that shows us that there may be a bit of friction at home. Now, forewarned is forearmed. So if that is something that could stir up within the home and family, be mindful of it and take a step back and take a few deep breaths before you kind of launch in with an emotional tirade of the injustices of whatever it is you feel someone is doing to you. So on that note, I'd like to say thank you so much for joining me for your April astrology. And please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.